Welcome aboard Norwegian Aqua, the newest and perhaps the most exciting ship yet in NCL's fleet. It's packed with wild features, from the Aqua Slide Coaster to a glowing sports course. And in this video, I'll show you all the publicly accessible areas of the ship, so you can see what life's really like on board. Let's get started. Hi fellow travelers, I'm Ken and welcome back to my channel, Ken Travels 360. We are currently on a 7-night Bermuda cruise on board Norwegian Aqua. And today is a sea day, so it's the perfect time to show you around the ship. The ship has 20 decks, and we're starting our tour right here on deck 17, the main pool deck. It looks quite large at first glance, but I think the shallow pool that wraps around the main pool makes it seem larger than it actually is.
In fact, many cruisers on board has commented on how tiny the pool is for a ship this size. This is what it looks like on a sunny sea day. The pool is just absolutely packed.
Up there is a big screen where they show movies or sport events. This is also used when they have poolside parties here. And they also have a DJ booth over there. Surrounding the pool are plenty of sun lounges. Well, plenty might be pushing it. There aren't nearly enough for everyone on board if it is really sunny. So unless you want to stay right by the pool, later I'll show you a few quieter spots where you can sunbathe. On either side, there are infinity whirlpools, which offer some of the best view on the ships. I love their locations because you can relax in one of these while gazing out to the open seas. However, they could be quite crowded, as you can see. But here, you have the Waves Pool Bar, and it's the perfect place to grab a tropical cocktail while you're soaking up the sun. Now, while we're here, you can't miss those massive slides towering behind me. This is the Aqua Slide Coaster, and it's not your usual cruise ship water slide. It's actually the world's first ride that combines a roller coaster with a water slide. I'll talk more about it later when we get up to deck 18. But from here, we're gonna head inside and forward to the observation lounge. But here, you can find a really big model of Norwegian Aqua, as well as a wall of plaques. These plaques are given to the ship whenever they visit a port for the very first time. Right, let's head inside the observation lounge now. Inside, the decor is warm and inviting. It's a really comfortable space to grab a book or tablet, or just enjoy the views ahead. There are plenty of charging options too, with USB-A, USB-C ports, as well as US power sockets, so you can keep your device top up while you relax. But towards the front, you'll find a bar serving the lounge, which is great if you fancy a drink while taking in the scenery. And I really love the floor-to-ceiling windows, so you get a great forward view. The observation lounge wraps around the entire forward section of the deck. On the opposite side, there's a small dining area, more like a mini buffet where you can enjoy light meals. Breakfast and lunch options, including pastry and deli items, are served, and there's also complimentary coffee, tea, and other drinks. In the afternoon, they even serve tea with scones and other treats. Well, wrapped inside the observation lounge is the Aqua Game Zone. It's a modern arcade and gaming venue. Let's go check it out. This venue combines retro arcade games like Donkey Kong and Miss Pac-Man with state-of-the-art virtual reality racing games. There are lots of carnival-style games, including skee-ball, basketball, and the like. It also features other forms of entertainment, such as a photo booth, a Topgolf swing suite, and air hockey. I'm quite thrilled that they actually even got mini bowling here. But this is definitely one of the best arcade games areas that I've seen on a cruise ship. Well, now let's make our way across the pool deck to get to the aft of deck 17. On the port side, you'll come to Surfside Cafe, the buffet restaurant on Norwegian Aqua. There's actually an open-air seating area here, which is quite pleasant if you want to enjoy your meal outside. Well, just before we get in, I just want to point out that there is a soft serve machine here, so you can dispense your own soft serve. And also there's a hand washing station. Right, we're inside Surfside Cafe now. Well, they serve breakfast, lunch and dinner here, but I've noticed that the menu can be a bit repetitive. Many of the same items just show up day after day. There are a couple of beverage stations here where you can refill your water and you can get drinks from this Coke freestyle machine. You just scan your C-Pass and then you can select your own drinks. There's also Juicify, where you can mix your own juice flavors water. And you can also get your own drip coffee.
The buffet itself is smaller than what you might find on other ships, as they have put specialty restaurants on the starboard side. Because of that, it can get rather crowded during peak times. There are definitely some better venues for complimentary dining elsewhere on the ship, like Indulge Food Hall and the Local, and I'll show you those venues a bit later.
At the back, you'll find Surfside Grill. This is where you can find items like hamburgers, hot dogs, and things like that.
And finally, near the Surfside Grill, you'll find the Surfside Bar, which serves the whole Surfside Cafe.
On the starboard side, you'll find two specialty restaurants, Paloma and Sukhothai. Let's check out one of them. So first you have Paloma Restaurant, which is a Mediterranean seafood restaurant. The main items that they serve here are seafood, but if someone in your group doesn't like seafood, they do have things like filet mignon and lamb chops, etc. The signature items is a whole fish baked in sea salt with herbs. Since Steve doesn't eat seafood, we didn't eat here. There's also a bar here which serves both restaurants. Well, then there is Sukhothai, and this is Norwegian's first Thai food restaurant. It serves traditional Thai dishes and various curries in a warm and inviting atmosphere, featuring traditional and contemporary Thai design elements. By the way, during breakfast and lunch times, very often the seating at these two restaurants is used as overflow seating for Surfside Cafe, the buffet restaurants. I'm not a fan of curries, so we didn't choose to eat here either. So next, heading further off, you'll come to the Vibe Beach Club, which is an adults-only area. There are a couple of hot tubs here, plus lots of sun lounges with thick padding. Plenty of space to just kick back and soak up the sun. There's also a bar, so you can also have a drink while you're relaxing. Well, access does come at a cost though. On our ship, it's actually sold out, even though it's quite expensive. However, if you haven't booked into Haven and are looking for a peaceful, quieter experience, then this is the place to do it. And if you want to go all out, you can even rent one of the cabanas for extra comfort and privacy.
Now, at the aft of Deck 17 and 16, you'll find the Haven Sun Deck. The Haven is Norwegian's premium ship within a ship area, with exclusive suites, lounges, and private outdoor spaces. It does look beautiful, with an infinity pool and lots of padded lounges. But I do think this highlights one of the biggest issues with Aqua. Unless you pay extra for either the Haven or the Vibe Beach Club, most of the aft open deck space is basically off limits. So for everyone else, the remaining outdoor areas can feel much more crowded.
Now we are on deck 18, and this deck is actually split into two sections. There's a forward area in front of the pool and another section towards the aft. We'll check out the aft section first. But here, you've got the entrance to the Aqua Slide Coaster. Okay, so this is how it works. You sit in an inflatable raft, either on your own or with your partner, and the conveyor belt carries you right to the top. Then a robotic arm kicks in, pushing you faster and faster up the launch ramp before firing you into the slide. Look. There are two side-by-side slides, so you can actually race with someone. The ride starts off fast and thrilling, and then eases into a slow winding session inside these colorful tubes before you splash down at the bottom. By the way, this used to be the Gold Kart racetrack on Prima and Viva, which has a charge. I think the Aqua Slide coaster is way more fun, and it's free. Next, we have the stadium here. This whole area is packed with games and activities, and it's perfect if you just want to spend an afternoon playing with your friends and family and relax. There's shuffleboard, foosball, and even beer pong tables. And over here, there's also actual ping pong tables, which are always popular on sea days. You might also notice that there is a strong purple theme running through this whole area. This is a little nod to Norwegian Aqua's signature production show Revolution, which is a Prince tribute show. Right, we are gonna go up to deck 19 where we'll find the pickleball court. So there's a dedicated pickleball court here, which is great to see. Pickleball has become massively popular on cruise ships in the past few years. So it's nice that Aqua has a proper space set aside just for it. Of course, no cruise ships would be complete without a mini golf course. On Aqua, it's called Tea Time. And unlike on Royal Caribbean, there's a small charge to play. It costs $5 per person. But it's not just regular mini golf. After paying, you're given a special ball, and the high-tech system here automatically tracks your score as you move from hole to hole. It's a fun, interactive twist on a classic cruise ship activity. Right next to Tea Time, you'll find the drop, and this one is the real adrenaline rush. It's a 10-story dry slide that sends you plummeting from up here all the way down to deck 8. So you step inside with a mat behind you, and then the floor disappears beneath your feet, and suddenly you are flying down the side of the ship. I've done plenty of wet drop slides before, but this one is completely dry, which makes it a totally different experience. It's quick, thrilling, and you don't even need to dry yourself afterwards. Well, hopefully not. But after all that excitement, you might need a drink. And right here is the Bullseye Bar. It's a casual spot where you can relax with a cocktail or cold beer while enjoying the views. And as the name suggests, there are dartboards here as well. Unlike on Prima, these are free to play, which is a nice touch. There are also TV screens showing live sports, making it a great hangout spot here. Well, before we move on, there's one last thing to see up here, which is the Glow Court, up on deck 20. Glow Court is a multi-use sports venue, and sure, you can play basketball during the day, but this is not just an ordinary sports court. The LED sports floor lights up with color and has built-in sensor for interactive games like Warball and Stomp, which are free to play. It's a really cool concept, and it gives this space a unique high-tech atmosphere, especially after dark. Right, we're heading back over the pool area and then going up one deck. Well, we're now on the upper sun deck. Right in the center is the Kids Aqua Park, a colorful play zone with slides and plenty of space for little ones to burn off their energy. Surrounding the aqua park, there are lots of sun lounges where parents can relax while keeping an eye on their kids. And even if you are not traveling with children, this area can be a good alternative if you are struggling to find free lounges on the main pool deck. Now, if you don't have kids or you just prefer a quieter space away from the noise, then you can head up one more level to deck 19. This is another sun deck with even more sun lounges and some of the best ocean views on the sea. It's usually more peaceful up here, and it's a great space to just stretch out and soak up the sun. On our sail away from New York, everyone was here because the glass here are much lower, so you can see out and get good pictures of Manhattan and Statue of Liberty. Okay, now we are gonna make our way back down through the ship, all the way to deck 8. Most of these decks are mostly staterooms, but there are a lot of interesting facilities in between the decks. So let's go through them deck by deck. On deck 16, you'll find Mandara Spa and Salon. Let's start by checking out the Pulse Fitness Center, which is right inside. The fitness center is forward-facing,
So while you're working out, you get to enjoy stunning 270 degrees views over the bow of the ship. The gym itself is really well equipped. You've got all the usual cardio machines, cross trainers, rowing machines, ski machines, step climbers, and cycling bikes, and of course, treadmills. In fact, there are several different types of treadmills, which is great if you like to mix things up. I really like the lighting and decor here. It has a clean, modern feel, just like a high-end gym on land. Over here, there's a big selection of free weights, complete with benches, as well as a Smith machine. You also find kettlebells, barbells, dumbbells, and medicine balls as well. Then there's this section with techno gym resistant machines for circuit training, and they all look practically brand new here. The whole place is really well designed, and you've got a water bottle refill station, as well as plenty of towels, and also cold towels in the fridge. If you enjoy group workouts, there's even a dedicated studio for spin classes, although those do come with an extra charge. But if working up a sweat isn't really your thing, then don't worry, the spa is just steps away, and that's where we're heading next. Well, here we are at the Mandara Spa and Salon. It feels calm and quiet as soon as you walk in. The entrance is here on deck 16, but most of the spa is actually down on one level on deck 15. We'll go check out both anyway. Right at the front is the salon area, which looks really smart and modern. There's a barber shop for men, offering haircuts and grooming services, which is great if you want a quick tidy up during the cruise. Next to it is the hair salon for women, which offers everything from styling and coloring to blow dries and treatments. I also noticed several stations for manicures and pedicures, so there are plenty of ways to enjoy a bit of pampering at sea. As we walk further in, there are corridors lined with different treatment rooms. They offer not just massages and facials, but also more advanced options. I saw signs for Medi-Spa and even IV therapy, which is quite modern for a cruise ship spa.
Well, the big highlight here is the thermal suite. Now, the first thing you'll notice is this large thalassotherapy pool in the middle. It looks really inviting, very zen looking. There's even a built-in jacuzzi area, which looks like a perfect place to just float and relax. Surrounding the pool are rows of heated stone lounges, and I've noticed these marble benches here as well. I think they're also gently warm as well, so you can actually just stretch and completely unwind. Well, heading further into this thermal suite, you'll find a whole range of different thermal experiences. Well, here we have an aromatic steam room. Oh, it's a really nice smell. Oh, wow. And then over here, we've got two saunas. On this side, you've got a charcoal sauna, and this side, we have the Finnish sauna. It's working. Whoa, it's so hot.
There's also a salt room, a clay sauna, and an experiential shower, which is basically a multi-sensory shower experience with different water pressures, lighting, and aromas that simulate things like tropical rain or a cool mist. There's also an ice room to cool off after heat treatments, which helps improve circulation and aids recovery. Further forward, right at the front of deck 15, is the thermal lounge. It's a quiet area with lounges and day beds, some of them heated. It's a nice place to relax and take in the ocean views through the big front windows. I can see how this would be a peaceful place to spend a sea day, especially if you're looking for somewhere calm away from the busy outdoor decks. You can only get access to this area if you got the thermal suite pass. By the way, some of these lounges are heated as well, so you can stay cozy while you relax. Here on Deck 15, you'll also find Splash Academy, a complimentary kids club for ages 3 to 12. It's a safe and supervised space where children can take part in fun activities throughout the day, giving parents some time to enjoy the spa or maybe just a quiet moment by the pool. Deck 14 is the home to the bridge, where the captain and crew navigate the ship. Also on this deck, you will find Entourage. This is the Teens Club and is a complimentary supervised youth program for teenagers between 13 and 17 years old. There are video games, movies, arts programs, and other activities here. Right, we'll continue to head downstairs, and the next deck that we will explore more is Deck 12. 13 here. Deck 12 has the studio lounge, which is a dedicated space for solo cruisers staying in the studio cabins. On Deck 12, you'll find the medical center, just in case you need it during the trip. And now here we are on Deck 8, and we'll start at the aft, where you'll find one of our favorite spaces to eat on this ship, the Indulge Food Hall. This is a complimentary dining venue with a food hall concept, featuring a range of globally inspired eateries, all serving freshly prepared, made-to-order dishes. It's a completely different experience to the buffet. Here's how it works. You come in, you grab a table, and then you sit down. Each table has its own iPad, and you simply order what you like from any of the food stations here. And then you just sit back and relax while the food is delivered straight to you. It's all included in your cruise fare, and it's a brilliant alternative to standing in line at a buffet. I honestly think this venue has been so popular that it explains why the buffet restaurant on Aqua is relatively small compared to other ships, because so many people actually prefer eating here. You've got a huge variety to choose from.
First, there is tapas for Spanish-style small plates and sharing dishes. Noodles, serving Asian noodle dishes, as well as pasta. The Latin Quarter for Mexican and Latin American flavors like tostadas and nachos. Q Texas Smokehouse for proper smoked barbecue meats like briskets, ribs, and pulled pork. Seaside Rotisserie for grilled and roasted meats with Mediterranean-style sides. Then you've got Tamara for flavorful Indian curries and naan breads. Finally, there's also the Pantry, which focused on plant-based dishes.
The menus change between lunch and dinner, and they rotate throughout the cruise, so there's always something new to try. And for those with a sweet tooth, there's also just desserts, which does exactly what it says on the tin, a variety of indulgent desserts. What I really love about this place is that it's more hygienic than a buffet, with a wider range of food and no need to queue. Plus, you can watch the chefs at work through the seafood kitchen windows, which is always fun. If you fancy a drink with your meal, there's Luna Bar right inside. If not, there are self-service beverage stations where you can just grab water, juice or soda. And if the weather's good, you can also get your food here outside in the Indulge Outdoor Lounge. This area has fantastic lake views, making it a perfect spot for alfresco dining. This area is served by the Soleil Bar, so you can easily grab a cocktail or cold beer while you relax. There are also lots of day beds and sitting here, so even if you're not eating, it's a great place to chill out and soak up the scenery. Well, before we continue forward, let's take a walk around Ocean Boulevard, which is the outdoor promenade on Deck 8. This wraps all the way around the ship, so you can do a full loop. Some people even use it as a jogging track. But there's more to it than just a walking path. There are pools, restaurants, bars, and plenty of places to relax. We're starting on the port side, near the Indulge Outdoor Lounge, and we'll make our way clockwise around the ship. But just outside the Indulge Food Hall, you can find Just Ice Cream, which is where you can grab complimentary soft-serve ice cream. It's always a hit on a sunny day, or any day. Who am I kidding? Well, the next feature that you'll come across is the Infinity Beach. This is a lovely space with day beds, sun lounges, and these little shallow pools around them.
The day beds are free to use, first come first served. There's also an infinity pool here, though it's quite small. Really, it's more for cooling off or snapping a selfie than doing any serious swimming. The views from here though are fantastic, especially when the ship is at sea. Well, next you'll pass the outdoor sitting area for the local bar and grill, which we'll come back to in a moment. Just beyond that is the landing area for the drop, which is where you'll end up after trying this heart-pounding dry slide. If you're brave enough to do it, this is where you'll pop out at the bottom. Further along are the outdoor dining areas for two specialty restaurants, Los Obos and Onda by Scarpetta. We'll cover that later. One feature I really like on Ocean Boulevard is how it blends dining, sunbathing, and lounging into one versatile space. Up next, we'll find a really fun feature, the Ocean Walk. The Ocean Walk is a glass walkway that juts out over the edge of the ship. You can see straight down to the water below, and you also get some amazing views of the ship's curves. It's not scary at all, but it's definitely a cool perspective. After that is La Terraza, another lovely area with lots of seating. Perfect for just chilling out with a drink and soaking in the ocean views. Now, it does get quite windy as you head towards the front of the ship, so hold on to your hats if you're out here at sea. Okay, we are now at the forward of the ship, bow of the ship. It's actually not as exposed as I thought it would be. Now, continuing on, we are now on the starboard side where the Terraza continues, and you've got another ocean walk coming up. Up ahead is the concourse, which features a sculpture called The Wave. It's become a bit of a selfie spot, and you often see people lined up here to take photos. But finally, you have the starboard side of the Infinity Beach again, which is exactly the same as the port side one, and this completes the loop. From here, we're gonna head back inside, and we're gonna start by looking at the local bar and grill. The Local is a complimentary 24/7 venue serving classic pub fare, burgers, chicken wings, hot dogs, and breakfast items. Yes, they do serve breakfast here, so if other venues get too crowded, do remember this place. There's plenty of indoor seating, plus the outdoor tables that we saw earlier. If you like Reuben sandwiches, they made a pretty good one here, so don't miss that. Well, and of course, there's a bar here too. Across from the bar is a giant TV screen where they will show live sports events here too. Moving forward on the starboard side, you'll find the photo gallery, where you can browse photos taken by the ship's photographers. You can buy prints or digital versions. You just pay by tapping here. They also sell things like GoPros and accessories as well. Well, I always wonder who buys them on a cruise ship, but I suppose it could come in handy if you lost yours on an excursion. Next to that is the art gallery, managed by Park West. My advice, as usual, don't buy art on a cruise as an investment. If you really love a piece and want to keep it as a memory of your trip, then go for it, but don't expect it to hold value. Next, you'll find Perspective Studio, where you can book a professional portrait session, which is great if you're cruising with family or celebrating a special occasions.
Now, let's head over to the port side, where we'll find two specialty restaurants.
First is Los Lobos, a colorful Mexican restaurant with bright pink booths and colorful tiles that really sets the vibe. They do tableside guacamole, plus all the classics like fajitas, enchiladas, and burritos. If you eat here, definitely save room for dessert. The churros with dulce de leche dipping sauce are a must try. Next door, you have Onda by Scarpetta, an Italian restaurant serving handmade pasta, pizzas, veal dishes, and burrata. I love the interior design. Ondas mean wave in Italian, and it certainly reflects that. Both restaurants have the option to dine inside or al fresco on the Ocean Boulevard.
Finally, there's the Belvedere Bar. This is a lovely spot for a pre-dinner drink or cocktail. And in the evenings, you'll often find live music here, giving the space a really nice vibe.
From here, you can get a lovely view of the 3-story atrium.
Surrounding this area are a variety of shops and boutiques, including luxury watch stores and jewelry shops like Effie.
Now, let's go down to Deck 7. Deck 7 is the middle level of the atrium, and thanks to the floor-to-ceiling window on either side, which lets in lots of natural light, it feels bright and very open. They've put lots of different sittings by the windows, so they are a great place to relax. Over there, behind me, you have the guest services and onboard credit. That's where you could ask building questions or other queries. Then, on the other side, you have CruiseNext. Here, you can purchase CruiseNext credits as a discount. And here's how it works. You purchase 2 CruiseNext certificates on board for $250 each. Then $500 is charged to your room as an onboard purchase. But they also applies a $250 credit to your account. The net result is that you get $500 worth of CruiseNext certificates for $250. There's a shore excursion desk next to CruiseNext. Now, excursions should really be booked beforehand, before the cruise. So if you've done the homework, you shouldn't really need to visit this area. Over there, behind me, you'll find a Starbucks. There are lots of cafe-style tables and seating around. Unfortunately, your drinks package does not include any of the drinks here. But next, you have the internet desk. If you've got questions about your internet connection, they will be able to help. And next to it, you'll find the entrance to the theater. I'll talk more about the theater later when we're on Deck 6. Now, let's head towards the aft of the ship. We are walking through what is called the gateway, and there are lots of shops here. On one side, you can find Sid Norman's Poorhouse. This is a rock concert hall, and you can catch live rock music here. Unfortunately, this venue is really small, and to compound the issue, the seats are reserved for Haven guests first. On Prima and Viva, they have the rock concerts here, and people were upset as many couldn't get in. On Aqua, they've moved it to the theater, which alleviates the issue somewhat. They also run karaoke session here, which I enjoy. No one hit me, but I'll be alright. Now, opposite Sid Norman's, you'll find a few more shops. Next, you've got Humidor. You can tell from its name that it's a cigar lounge. Next, we have Cantonese Steakhouse. It's a very popular specialty dining options, so make sure you make your reservation as soon as possible. Opposite Cantonese, you've got the Metropolitan Bar, which serves craft cocktails, biodynamic wine, and lots of classics, including a wide selection of whiskey. There's also a grand piano in here, so you can enjoy live music in the evenings. Continuing towards the aft, you have Le Bistro next. This is the specialty restaurant offering French food. It's got a very classic decor with a chandelier in the middle, and it's got all the French classics like escargot, onion soups, steaks, and cocoa wine. Opposite Le Bistro is Nama Sushi and Sashimi. This is another specialty restaurant, and as the name suggests, it offers sushi and sashimi. But it also has items like karaage fried chicken and beef strip loin carpaccio. But finally, at the aft of Deck 7, you have Hudson's, one of the 2 main dining rooms on Aqua. What I like about it is the floor-to-ceiling windows wrapping around it, offering a sweeping 270 degrees view. This is a complimentary dining venue and is open for breakfast and dinner, and on certain days, lunch too. Now, let's head down to Deck 6. Well, here you'll find Commodore Room, the second main dining room on Aqua. The decor here is more understated in this one and is smaller than Hudson's.
However, many people go straight to Hudson's first, so if it is filling up fast at Hudson's, you may find a table here more easily. It offers the same menu as Hudson's, so if the view is not as important to you, you could try this one out. Opposite the Commodore room, you'll find Hazuki, which offers a Japanese teppanyaki experience. Many people like the showmanship of the chefs, but we've done quite a few of these, so we don't really do these anymore. But for a lot of people, this is a popular option, so make sure to reserve early. While outside Hazuki and Commodore room, you have the whiskey bar. There's a huge selection of whiskey to choose from here, and there are lots of lounge sitting around to enjoy your drinks.
What is that?
Well, at the back, you'll find the Swirl Wine Bar, where you get wine by the glass. They also have an extensive list of rare and premium vintages. Sometimes they also have wine tasting events here. But next, you've got the Improv at Sea. This is the stand-up comedy club, and there's a bar in here serving this venue as well. Compared to Prima and Viva, it's a slightly larger venue, but it's still very small. If you want to attend one of the shows here, be sure to be here at least 45 minutes early, otherwise you won't get in. But next, we have the casino, and this is certainly a sizable one. They've got all the table games like blackjack, Texas Hold'em, roulette, poker, craps, etc. Then there are also a lot of slot machines. But out of the casino, we've come to the atrium, with the Penrose Bar just over there. Located right in the heart of the ship, the atrium spans 3 decks, 6, 7 and 8, and it has a futuristic decor. It's such a striking space, bright, open and full of energy. The centerpiece here is the glass sculpture up there. The atrium is where so much of the action happens. During the day, you'll find live music, trivia and other events taking places here, while in the evening, it transforms into a lively entertainment hub. You can grab a drink from the Penrose Bar, which is perfect for sitting back and people watching, and there are plenty of cozy sitting areas dotted around. Well, last but not least, we have the Aqua Theatre and Club, which stretches across the forward part of decks 8, 7 and 6, with the main entrance on the lowest deck. This isn't just a traditional theatre, it's a multi-purpose venue with stadium-style seating. And the really clever thing is that the seats at the front can actually be rolled away. This transforms the space from a regular theatre into a fully blown nightclub. You'll see this transformation in action during Revolution, the ship's signature production show, a high-energy tribute to Prince. When those lower seats are cleared out, the first level turns into a mosh pit, giving it the atmosphere of a live concert at sea. Another main show here is Elements, which combines magic, aerial acrobatics, and dance. It's a bit like Cirque du Soleil performance. There's also Rumours, a tribute to Fleetwood Mac. On Norwegian Prima and Viva, this was performed in Sid Norman's poor house, but that venue was way too small. Thankfully, on Aqua, they've moved it to the theatre, which makes for a much better experience. The theatre itself is state-of-the-art, with incredible lighting and sound. They even do a light show before each performance, which really sets the mood. Later at night, the space often transforms again, this time into a dance venue. One of the biggest late-night events here is the Crazy Sexy Cool Party, a throwback to the 90s. But there is one downside, the capacity. For a ship of this size, the theatre just isn't quite big enough. And during the Revolution show, when the lower seating is removed for the mosh pit, it gets even smaller. And the result is that there are queues, big queues. I saw people lining up in every direction well before showtime, and many were turned away once the venue filled up. So if you want to see one of the big production shows, you have to arrive at least an hour early, maybe even earlier on busy nights. Now, if you're staying in the Haven, then you've got it easy. Around a quarter of the seats are reserved exclusively for Haven guests. But for the rest of us, my best advice is simple. Get here early, or you risk missing out. And that brings us to the end of our full tour of Norwegian Aqua. Deck 5 is entirely staterooms, so we won't be heading down there today. If you've enjoyed exploring this ship with me, why not check out this video next, where I review our full experience of this cruise.
Or if you want to see our balcony cabin, including which cabins I recommend and which ones to avoid, check out this other video. Either way, I'll see you over there. Ciao!